is an India-Pakistan ceasefire, but how was it achieved? Let me give you the inside story. An urgent call by the US Secretary of State to Pakistan Army Chief Asim Munir to get off the accelerator after firing a ballistic missile towards Sirsa. India's massive operation to hit 10 Pakistani air bases with BrahMos, Hammer and SCALP missiles and the looming threat of a nuclear war. These rapid chain of events on Friday night led to the US brokered ceasefire between India and Pakistan on Saturday. Hello viewers, welcome to this edition of Homework. This is your host Aman Sharma. Top sources in the Indian government said that India's strikes on Friday night at 10 Pakistani air bases was an operation even bigger in scale than Operation Sindoor on May 7th. And Pakistan realized it was exposed to annihilation and faced the prospect of its nuclear facilities being taken out. India's unprecedented attack, approved by Prime Minister Narendra Modi at a scale not even seen during earlier wars, came after Pakistan dared to fire a ballistic missile towards India, which was brought down near Sirsa. But India's missiles all hit their target, including at the Nur Khan airbase near the Pakistan General Headquarters in Rawalpindi. Within all of 90 minutes, India hit the Nur Khan airbase in Rawalpindi, the Rafiqui airbase in Shorkot, the Murid airbase in Punjab, the Sukkur airbase in Sindh, the Sialkot airbase, the Pasrur airstrip, the Sargodha airbase, the Skardu airbase, the Bholari airbase near Karachi and the Jacobabad airbase. The Chunian radar installation was also taken out. India fired its BrahMos missiles and Hammer and SCALP missiles from Rafales at these big air bases in its biggest set of attacks. A New York Times report in fact says that the most significant cause for concern came to the US when India hit the Nur Khan airbase in Rawalpindi on Friday night. The base is a key installation, one of the central transport hubs for Pakistani's military and home to the air refueling capability that would keep Pakistani fighters aloft. But it is also just a short distance from the headquarters of the Pakistan Strategic Plans Division, which oversees and protects the country's nuclear arsenal. This is what the New York Times is saying. How did this strike cripple Pakistan? Well, the strike on the Nur Khan and the Rafiqui air bases was critical as it disrupted the heart of Pakistan's air logistics and high-level military coordination. The Nur Khan base is closest to Islamabad, often used for VIP transport and military logistics. Its neutralization severed critical links between the Pakistani Air Force leadership and its operational units during the conflict. Rafiqui, a key fighter base hosting frontline combat squadrons, was also rendered inoperable. The destruction of its aircraft shelters and runway infrastructure significantly weakened Pakistan's ability to launch counter-air operations. This move effectively removed one of PAF's sharpest offensive tools. By targeting the Murid air base, India disrupted a vital training and potential missile storage hub. The strike degraded Pakistan's long-term Air Force readiness, cutting off a critical node in the pilot training pipeline and eliminating logistic depth for future operations. The destruction of Sargodha was the strategic masterstroke. As the most critical base in Pakistan, home to the Combat Commander School, the nuclear delivery platforms, elite squadrons, its decimation crippled Pakistan's command and control structure. India's neutralization of the Skardu air base degraded Pakistan's northern surveillance and air operations near the line of control. It also disrupted logistical links that could have supported Chinese-Pakistani coordination in the high Himalayas. India's destruction of the Sukkur airbase cut Pakistan's southern air corridor. Sukkur has been essential for troop and equipment movement across Sindh and Balochistan. Its loss severed key logistical arteries and reduced Pakistan's operational range in the south. As one of Pakistan's newest air bases with dual-use naval and air roles, Bholari had symbolized future ambitions of southern force projection. But its destruction erased those aspirations, compromising coastal defense coordination and leaving Karachi vulnerable to further strikes. Well, these strikes showed India and Pakistan were on the verge of a nuclear war. The unprecedented call by US Secretary of State to Asim Munir showed US realize Munir was not listening to the Pakistani political leadership and he was the one calling the shots. US President Donald Trump post on Sunday indicated towards the fear of a nuclear escalation. He said India and Pakistan showed the strength, wisdom and fortitude to fully know and understand that it was time to stop the current aggression that could have led to the death and destruction of so many and so much. Trump said millions of good and innocent people could have died. And he said, Sharif and Modi's legacy is greatly enhanced by your brave actions, said Mr. Trump. Trump also said he was proud that the USA was able to help India and Pakistan arrive at a historic and a heroic decision. Before this on Saturday, a CNN report says that after speaking to Donald Trump, US Vice President J.D. Vance called up Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The CNN report says Vance made it clear to Modi that the White House believed there was a high probability for a dramatic escalation and encouraged him to have his country communicate with Pakistan directly and to consider options available for de-escalation. The US Secretary of State Marco Rubio got the phones working with the Pakistan side as well, including the crucial call he made to the Pakistani Army Chief Asim Munir. India and Pakistan may have agreed to an immediate ceasefire, but not before New Delhi made it clear to the world. It will not seek anyone's permission to defend its people.
हमने केवल सीमा से सटे सैन्य ठिकानों पर ही नहीं कार्रवाई की, बल्कि भारत की सेनाओं की धमक उस रावलपिंडी तक सुनी गई जहां पाकिस्तानी फौज का हेडक्वार्टर मौजूद है। मित्रों, भारत में आतंकवादी घटनाएं करने और कराने का क्या अंजाम होता है, यह पूरे विश्व ने उरी की घटना के बाद देखा, जब हमारी सेना ने पाकिस्तान में घुसकर सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक की। पुलवामा के बाद देखा जब बालाकोट पर एयर स्ट्राइक की गई, और अब पहलगाम की घटना के बाद दुनिया देख रही है कि जब भारत ने पाकिस्तान के भीतर घुसकर मल्टीपल स्ट्राइक्स की।
The Indian response served as a global signal. Terrorists and their masterminds will find no safe haven. Hours before the ceasefire was announced, India had warned that any future terrorist attack would be treated as an act of war and responded to accordingly. This was a direct message to Pakistan to rein in its actions going forward. Make no bones about it, India has showed its dominance. India's massive retaliatory strike on May 7th, codenamed Operation Sindoor, targeted deep positions inside Pakistan and Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir to avenge the brutal killing of 26 civilians in the Pahalgam attack. The operation was an absolute success, with Indian forces neutralizing 9 high-value terror launch pads and nearly 100 terrorists. These strikes were not limited to just the border regions. India struck targets hundreds of kilometers inside Pakistani territory, including in Bahawalpur and across Punjab province, both considered key military strongholds of Pakistan. During the operation, Indian forces successfully jammed or bypassed Pakistan's air defense systems, leaving them exposed for up to 23 minutes, a significant tactical advantage. And then on Friday night, by hitting 10 Pakistani air bases again deep inside Pakistan, India has shown its dominance over Pakistan. India's deployment of non-military measures still remain in effect to reinforce its strategy and consolidate international support. Among them was the suspension of the Indus Waters Treaty, a move with serious consequences for Pakistan. The treaty remains on pause. Overall, these coordinated kinetic and non-kinetic actions have imposed tangible diplomatic and economic costs, deepened Pakistan's isolation, and reaffirmed India's zero-tolerance policy on terrorism. India continues to work on the principle of re-verify and then only trust when it comes to Pakistan. Our guard will remain up, and it is incumbent upon Pakistan to behave. Thank you for watching. We will be back next week with another episode of Homework.